It has already been a good day for Team Woodbine for a couple of different reasons. First of all, Lisa Blow showed up on time, was very punctual today, so that's good news. And our good friend Johnny Charlombus had a winner at the Belmont at Big A Meets with Niagara Skyline. Lisa and Jeff were cheering that one home, and he got a good price at odds of 9-2.
Good stuff, because we know how good he is, and they were offering him up for $50,000 a couple of times here. Yep. No takers. He went down there for 50 G's. I don't think there are any takers there for him either. And speaking of New York, you had mentioned we're going to see Sahin ride some of his first horses on tomorrow's program. Has about 3-4 horses on the card tomorrow, so we'll be watching for him as well.
Hey, he's going to ride actually one for Kevin in one of their stake races, Boca Queen, who's going to take on the fillies on the turf. So we want to Sahin all the best. We got to update that opening because we've got riders that are retired, horses that are retired.
Gone, on injury list, you know.
That's right. So we'll have to get that updated. But one guy that maybe we should just put in the opening is Rafael Hernandez, the way that he's going
I was going to say, Raf is the only guy, I think, in that opening that's actually still around these parts. There might be a few of them in the backgrounds. One's a steward, for God's sakes, right? But, Rafi, hot last week. I mean, he just keeps finding the stakes winner's circle as well. And when he does, lately, he's been finding it quite a lot for Del DeRusso, which is a lot of fun. Dale was saying that, his goal was to hit $1 million in purse earnings. I'm not sure how. Do you have the updated list, buddy? Jeff always updates this list, and we'll see how close he is.
So I think what I have is probably American dollars. Okay. So he's at 751. So very, very close.
Very close. Yeah, very close, if not just there. Yeah. So good for them. But Rafi with 8 winners on the program last week.
Yeah, no, great week for him. And you know what? You and I were just talking about this when our handicapping for this week coming up is there's all these jockey stuff going on now because Sahin is such a big loss for us, but these other people are now going to take advantage of it. The impact, I think, is now Rafi's going to get first call of a bunch of different outfits.
He seems to. Looks like Fraser Abley's picked up a few. I'm seeing some other riders going into other barns that they don't normally go into. Example, as one Flores is riding one for Cassie. Yeah. Campos is riding one for Cassie. We've already seen him ride one, but he's going to ride another one for Cassie. So that's a big barn with some big shoes to fill.
I saw Salas picking up one for a barn.
I saw Salas picking up one too. Yeah. So there's that, and then there's the absence of Austin Adams still. We were told originally that it was some deep bruising, and obviously it's a little worse than they thought.
Sore. I wouldn't be surprised. Before we get to our countdown clock, I have to tell a bit of a funny story. So I went to the dentist today and got some freezing. So I was afraid I'll go back on this on the phone. But as I was driving in, I started to feel a little bit better.
See, I wouldn't have come into work. Yeah. Because the freezing lasts forever with me.
But it's a tingling after. It's like,
it's a little weird, isn't it? But every time you talk about freezing, now this is going to date a whole bunch of us, but I always think about the Carol Burnett.
That's a great skit.
Episode with Harvey Korman, and when he keeps freezing. It's fantastic.
No. She's hilarious. So let's get to topic number 1. And this is more of a celebration topic because we're going to celebrate one of Canada's best that is now retiring in Australia, and her name is Moira. She didn't have much luck down in Australia. She had a second place finish, but it just didn't go well for her. Now, the race there is so different. The shipping and everything like that too. I hope she becomes a fantastic mom.
Me too.
Here's a look at her stats for you in here. And she's a Breeders' Cup champion, a plate winner. She's a multiple Sovereign Award winner. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Now, I guess the question I want to ask you as we take a look at some of her highlights is, what is it that you'll remember about her?
Ooh, for me, QE2. That was a pretty good race, right?
But I'm talking about her as a horse.
As a horse?
Yeah.
Her personality.
Yeah,
she has so much personality, and and we were so lucky to have her here and have her connections be so active in social media. Like I'm thinking of Karina, who galloped her all the time, putting her out on social media so that we could get to kind of know her a little bit more than what we saw on the racetrack. But yeah, she was phenomenal. Now I guess here's the next question: who does she go to?
Well, I don't know the American Stallion or the Australian Stallion situation all that well. I don't know what exactly the game plan is going to be. This was a proud moment for me.
Oh,
she got a great ride on this day too.
Oh, you and I were jumping up and down for this.
And Kevin has probably the best reaction of any trainer that ever wins a Breeders' Cup race.
That was pretty cool.
One thing about Kevin, he's not afraid to let his emotions go.
You got to,
Deservedly so.
man. You got to. You can't
Yeah.
bottle that stuff up. You got to let it out. I always say to people when you come to the racetrack, this is the greatest place in the world because you can scream and yell and do whatever you want. No one's going to look at you like you're crazy. You can't do that at the grocery store. You can only do that at the racetrack. Yeah, definitely. Last year, you and I were glued to the TV.
Yeah,
we weren't even
screaming.
sitting down. We couldn't even sit. We were just...
Yeah.
We were along for the ride with her. And speaking of her retiring, Torpedo Anna is
Yeah.
retired as well. I mean, I know she didn't race as well as expected in her last start at Keeneland, but they have put the wraps on her, and they're going to send her off to auction.
20% of her.
Just 20% of
Yeah.
her, though. But that's still interesting that you could raise your hand and try and see if you can get a piece of Torpedo Anna. And who are they going to breed her to?
You know, I'm glad they did it now. I would hate
Yeah.
for her to like go in the Breeders' Cup and like be a complete non-factor.
Yeah, like,
It would just
exactly.
take
That's
some of
not
the-
what she deserves.
Take some of the
Yeah.
starch off her resume a little bit, right? So yeah, we're losing a couple of good ones. We're going to come hopefully fantastic mums down the line. The only crummy thing about Moira is that she's in Australia. At least if she was in the States, we could kind of
Yeah,
follow
I
her.
know.
It's hard to follow the Australia racing scene,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because it's different hemispheres, right?
Different time zones,
yeah.
yeah.
But Robert will be all over
Robert,
it.
he will keep us
He will probably
updated.
go visit her too, I bet, and take a picture of himself
Yeah, I hope he does.
over the winter
I
months.
hope he does. Okay, let's get to topic number 2 now. Pick 5, pick 6. This is a combo ticket in here as we talk about the jackpot high 5 a little bit later on, but this is the jackpot power pick 6 with a carryover of $35,000, and the pick 5 will get rolling here as well. Celebrity Row, I cashed on her last time out. I do think she got a lot of things in her favor. I think the pace setup was right to her liking. Nobody went with her on that day, and she was able to win. I think she's beatable in this race. Where'd you go in race number 2?
I went to Texas Holiday on the cutback because I think this is the speed at this distance here today, and I think. Well, obviously, the horse can handle the inner turf, can handle the turns, all that. That's great. I just kind of feel like, you know, there's some other horses that'll likely be speed contenders, but I think this one might try and carry it straight to the wire. So that's where Flores is up for a barn that was cold and now they're hot again. So I'll keep my eye on that one. But I did use the 3, just magnificent. And the reason I did is because of that race 2 back on August the 24th when she finished 5th, beating a couple of lengths to Speedy Freeze. And we know how good Speedy Freeze turned out to be. Well, you know, Speedy Freeze was in the Algoma that day. And this horse was actually really rolling, but just ran out of racetrack. Now we switch back over to the turf course here today. And this is another thing. I mean, it's a big story here. We're still on the grass, and it's still firm.
And she loves the inner turf course, too.
She does.
And I think there's some pace to chase. Listen, you're going to be one of the speedsters in
Yeah.
here, but I think Lady Iona might go, Spellcheck might go, Celebrity Row might go. Spellcheck finally gets a chance to run on the turf. They've entered this horse 1,000 times on the grass and always gets moved off. So now they get a bit of a gauge with
It's
that
funny,
one.
too, because I think we said this last week. Oh, there's so much speed in this race,
That
and then
never
nobody
materializes.
went. Right?
Always,
yeah,
always.
exactly. So I'm wondering if something like that might happen here in this race, too. But you know what I was thinking as well? I tossed the 7 in, and for a minute I was toying with the idea of putting the 7 horse up in the top spot just because I thought the race could set up nice for a closer, and this one does have a good closing kick.
Let's get to your specialty now, shall we?
Oh, the specialty.
Maiden 10 claimers. This is where we're going to go here. Race number 3.
Did enough of those.
Actually, no, we're going to skip the 3rd. We're going to skip the 3rd.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you off the hook.
All
That was
right.
my mistake.
Don't worry, I got a winner
I
in the
got
third
topic
race,
3
though.
and race 3 mixed up. We're going to get
One
to
of my
the
top
4th.
selections is in that Maidens for 10 today.
One of your plays of the day?
Yep.
Okay, we'll get to that then a little bit later on. 4th will be at 7-8, an optional 10,000 claimer, star allowance race as well.
Big field.
Are you a... See, I know you, and
You know me.
sometimes you can be a bit of a forgiving soul, but other times you hold a bit of a
I
grudge.
do.
But with Lois Len, I feel like you're being forgiving today.
I am. But if she doesn't do it today, I'm going to hold that grudge.
So why
I
is it
come
that
from
you
a
think-
long line of grudge holders,
Why do you
Jeff.
think she can bounce
I don't
back
know,
today?
Mike's. I've got written down what happened? Question mark. I
Yeah.
have no clue what went on with this horse last start out because you know maybe she's a need the lead type. Is she that kind of a horse that we got to get her up on the front end? Because she couldn't get to the front end, she said, "I don't want to play." But Ryan Munger is going to pilot her here today. Remember, Sophia's out of action, so there's so many different jocks on so many different horses. But I went to the 4 today. I'm going to forgive and forget. I'll look at the 10. Looks lucky to me with Hernandez hopping aboard here. Now this is a horse who's going from a bug rider to a journeyman and a top journeyman in the room. So I'll take a look at that one, who was in behind Retail Therapist. That was a wacky winner the day that horse decided to pop up. I tossed in the 5, Matoli Power, who was a winner, but that was in that 75 nominators of 3 or nominators of race in a year. And I don't think the horse beat very much on that day. But yeah, those are kind of the.
Okay, what's Robert looking at here?
Well, he's looking at the. He's sidetracked, as you can see.
Robert sidetracked? Come on.
But Dynamic Strike is the horse that he's with here.
What a lovely kind face that horse has.
You know what? I'm a real sucker for eyes like this.
Yeah.
Those doughy eyes that are very far apart. You know, that's
kind of like Bambi-ish.
There's just something about it. I love those big, wide eyes. If you know my horse, you know he has big eyes like that.
Iron Pyrite for me. I'm taking a bit of a price play on this one with the drop down in class. I'm looking for a price. I'm taking some wacky horses on.
You got to, buddy. It's Thursday.
We'll see. Hopefully, I'm just right a couple of times so that I can have a good day at the office. That's a look at the big fields. Now we're going to get to 2 turns here coming up in our next topic of the day. And what specifically, race-wise, are we talking about in here? It's race number 5 on the program. I have a bit of a theory about Catherine's Cub. I think she was the best horse last time out. I just think she didn't get the best of trips on that day. Would you agree or disagree?
See, I think I liked Mobula, but I believe I used Mobula for second and Catherine's Cub for first.
I think you did too.
And I was kicking myself afterwards for not putting Mobula, being brave and putting that horse up in the top spot. But I'll go to Catherine's Cub today. We're getting on to the grass. Horse never tried the grass. This filly by Reload out of an English Channel mare, so we shouldn't have a problem with the surface. I guess my only concern is, again, that first turn, as it can be tricky to manipulate with an outside draw. But I went 8-6. Key to the Park is here, who was a claim from the Josie Carroll outfit for 40 Gs. And you can understand what Darwin Benak did there. He tried her on the grass in a maiden special weight. Now, she's only beaten 3 lengths in that race, and now she comes back to 40. We've talked about this so many times. You know, a lot of these big outfits, Josie, Bob, Kev, you know, a lot of, even the Drexler outfit, they'll drop these horses in, and they're pretty much priced right when they drop them in for the tag. And this is just proving that point again. The Key to the Park was dropped in for 40 and is back for 40 for the new connections today. So I went 8-6. The 5 is interesting too. Pretty Liza.
Now this show is starting to get a little R-rated. Now we're having bath shots.
Jeff, you are too much. But you notice that Robert's not giving a bath.
Well, I guess not.
Yes, like that would just be preposterous. But Pretty Liza's interesting. This horse was down at Gulfstream. I guess I'm going to assume a private purchase, and coming up here now for Joe Russo.
Yeah, there's a look at Joe and Pretty Liza. And there's Robert and Lemon Sweets. And Lemon Sweets coming off a 5th place finish last time out. Now, Mobile came back not to run all that great the other day. Is that correct? There's Brendan Greer.
Can't remember, buddy.
I didn't win.
No.
I can't remember where the horse actually.
You know what? The interesting horse in this race is this 3-horse Z-Train. Yeah. Like, what the heck? It's so hard to play a horse who shows a line like the last line on this horse. And the only thing you can go for is, I guess, the horse couldn't stand up in the mud. Just wants turf, and that's it.
Can I ask you a curiosity question?
Yeah.
At what temperature do you stop bathing horses?
Oh, like it's too cold for me right now.
But like, obviously, if you run, you got to.
Well, you got to, but I mean, then you got, look, when you have coolers and all those types of things that you can throw on horses and all that, that's great because you don't want them to get a chill, and you certainly don't want to put a horse away a little cool. Like last night, for example, after I rode, you know, it's too cold to give him a sponge down. He's got too much hair for that too. Yeah. But also, like, you want to try and dry him down as best as you can because you don't want him to get a chill overnight.
Well, that's what we need to invent. We need to invent the horse like.
Well, they have heat lamps.
Yeah.
You know, and
like
that always works. They do have horse blow dryers.
Oh, really?
Oh, they have them for cows too. You got to go to the Royal Winter Fair and watch a cow get prepped.
Speaking of, we're going to get to meow in a couple of seconds, but that's going to talk about cats. My favorite thing at the Royal Winter Fair is the dog and horse.
I love that one. I do love that. Yeah. But if you have never seen a cow get prepped for the ring, you are missing out.
Well, I heard a rumor. That back in your day, you did go cow tipping.
Maybe. Don't. My mom and dad are watching. Maybe there might have been a few incidents of those types of things. However, you know what else I know? I know that one of our commission vets, that just happens to have the first name Matt, I know he can show a hell of a cow.
Really?
Is what I was told.
Interesting. Now, are we going to go for a drive on Mackenzie Road tonight? What do you think? Like, Mackenzie Road gave it up late.
And then what are we going to do, Jeff, after we go for a drive?
We're going to watch the Blue Jays.
Okay, yeah, okay. That sounds about right. I love Mackenzie Road. Tonight is interesting, too, because you get Hernandez. Now, this trip here is not a trip I am really that excited about showing you, because the horse gets beat. He gets beat by Madam Gwen, and I believe Raffi was on Madam Gwen for Carlos Grant that day, right? So you can see Austin Adams, but he is doing all he can to get this Mackenzie Road home. And then, of course, it's Raffi and Madam Gwen who get it at the end. Second to Mackenzie Road, third to Beautiful Sky, you're going to see in this race today. What's significant about this? Well, you go from Austin Adams, who has been doing fantastic until he got hurt, to the top jock in the room, that being Raffi. So, I mean, you think that you might get a little extra out of this one here today. So we'll watch for the 7. I use the 4, Beautiful Sky, for Dixon, and I use the 1, Maxine's Magic. But it's 7 and 4, and then after that, just throw a dart at him. I had a hard time with the rest.
My Nikki is a breeze, but kind of a fringe player. I think Maxine's Magic is a claim that hasn't worked.
Elliptical Ladybug, I mean, what did she beat?
Yeah.
It's...
Yeah, Arctic Blonde's still a maiden, right? I think.
Yeah, Black Goddess is still a maiden. Like, those are the only 2 horses on paper that actually stand out.
That's our next topic, race number 7, and this is in regards to Serenading Kitten. And you know what? It is Halloween.
Yes.
Kittens going under ladders and stuff like that.
Black cats.
Yeah, black cats in front of you and stuff like that. I just can't go back, Elisa.
You can't?
I can't.
I'm going to go one more time. I'm a sucker for going back one more time, and it blows up in my face.
Well, you know what? Like, I'm going towards Arctic Blonde, so it's not like, I don't really have a strong
See,
opinion
we're both
in this race.
going back with bad dates that didn't work out.
They're combined over 26.
Okay, well, here's the replay, so we can remind ourselves of the efforts from Serenading Kitten and Arctic Blonde. What I think is significant when you watch this replay for Serenading Kitten is the fact that Pietro never gives this horse a breather. Like, look at him. He is trying. He is pumping.
I didn't pick her.
I know. I think she's a bit of a lazy gal, but Pietro's going to try today. Sorry, this was Flores aboard last start. Now it's going to be Pietro. So we're getting her in a little bit lighter. That might help, but I mean, poor Eswan, he's trying everything. He's pulling out all the stops to try and get this horse there, and they almost do, but no. So I'm just wondering, a little bit lighter here today, different set of hands. Maybe things will kind of work out for Serenading Kitten. Plus the barn's hot right now.
True.
Arctic Blonde is the other horse that's just the logical horse to use in the second spot. But like you said, the starts are really beginning to add up with these guys.
The problem is, where else do you go? Right? And that's the problem. Like,
where
we
else
talked
do you
about
go?
the 3 and the 6. Like, what other options are there? Like, beach cricket didn't do much.
Oh, yeah, I thought you meant where else do you go if you can't win for 15. I was
No,
going
I
to
know
tell you where you go.
Well, you can't though. They're done next week.
Yeah, well, yeah. Beach cricket has to have been a private sale. I noticed that there's a couple of horses from Kevin's barn that looks like they've, been sold privately and will move on to barns. Ted Holder's got a couple. I think there's another one that he has on the Sunday program that's new into his barn as well.
I think they were Derek Chin's horses too, so
Yeah.
I think Derek just said enough's enough. I don't want to, winter them.
You know what? He's got babies and all that kind of stuff that he's excited about, I'm sure, for next year. You got to make room for those babies, and it's that time of year. Everybody cleans house this time of year.
Miss Bouget, I don't mind that one. Sunnyville.
Yeah, I find it after the first 2 horses, it's wide open.
Yeah, I hear you. Plays of the day. Let's get to those. And you're going to go first.
Well, I told you I had a maiden for 10 in my plays of the day, and it's a certain Froggy.
Oh, the tadpole!
I say the frog becomes a prince today and leaps himself into the winner's circle in race number 3 on the program. Might be troubles my closer in the opener on the program. Just beware. This race could set up nicely for this horse to close from off of the speed, Catherine's Cub, and Serenading Kitten from the live barn. But yeah, I think this might be trouble in the opener. Could be a good way to kick things off.
I'm going towards I'm Tenacious in the first. I think might get that nice rail run in that one. And then I've got a long shot coming up in race number 2, that being Just Magnificent. My price play is Iron Pyrite, and Catherine's Cub off that trouble trip last time out made onto the old watch list in the computer, not the Do It Tang. And we'll put that one on our watch list board. And the joke behind that is, Lisa used to do a Tang, and
I do everything by hand,
I'm in
my dear.
2025, and I use a computer.
Yeah.
Ron's best. Oh, we might not get 12 to 1 on Just Magnificent. This horse is picked all over the place tonight. This pains me to say this, but Woodbine TV Prod's on a bit of a roll
Lately.
these days. They're doing quite well. And Silent Strike, that's where Doug's going to go with his play of the day. 12 to 1. Some prices here today. And that's the way it's gone recently on Thursdays and Fridays, hasn't it been? Prices?
Price. And you know, there's a Hall of Famer who likes to use my program, the old pencil and crayon and pen, and that's Randy Waples. So when the two of us are working together, you can imagine how hard it is rifling through our papers.
Randy is the best.
Yes.
He comes to work, if you're not familiar, so Randy, Hall of Fame driver, like, has won all the races in the world. He comes to work with his program in a Ziploc bag.
I love it.
With his
And
markers.
with his markers, color coded.
Yes.
You know, so
Yes.
first is this number, second is this color, third is this color. He's got a great system.
Well, poor John LeBlanc Jr., he is married to obviously one of the biggest Blue Jay fans that I know, and he's in the last race. He's going to
what
miss
are
the
they
start
gonna
of the
do?
game.
Well, maybe
Tallywatt.
he's got somebody else that can put the tack on.
Or at least cool the horse out.
Yeah.
So he can jet home.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Jays start tonight at 8:33. Now I watched the entire game.
You get
I did.
out.
I did. I was having so much
Wow.
fun watching the game. I was trying to teach my dog to bark "Let's go Blue Jays." I was trying, not successful.
So you know my
unfortunately.
dad's trick is they have, it's called Game in 30. So what they do is the game takes maybe, 2 hours, 3 hours to play. They condense it to 30 minutes. My dad watches it in the morning. And then he tells me all about the game. Like, Dad, I watched the game.
Oh, I was texting people, 3 up, 3 down, let's go, boys. I was all over the place yesterday. Couldn't get enough of it.
Go Jays, go. Horses have arrived inside the paddock area for race number 1 as we kick off another week of action here from Woodbine.